That's good.
All right, thank you.
Welcome to Open Up Forum. We talk about anything and everything, and try to give you a godly perspective on it.
Yeah.
So I'm here with my co-host Ronald McConaughey
What's up, people?
and my engineer
Matt.
Matt the man. Y'all don't realize how important Matt is to us because he handles a lot of volume, the audio, sound, camera. He does great work here.
Matt does all that.
Matt is the man. But this show is dedicated to our NFL draft because we really don't talk about a lot about sports. We talked previously about sports, but since the draft was a big highlight, especially for teams that we like, because I'm a New York Giants fan, and Ronnie here is some cow. What's they? The cow girl? I think that's what they call. But yeah, the cow.
Were we the cowgirls when we spanked y'all 40 tonight?
Yep, still girls.
Were we the cowgirls when we came back and did it again?
Still girls.
How many times we beat the Giants in a row? How many times was it?
It's a lot, but yeah, that's all right.
And we still the cowgirl. We're gonna continue to be the cowgirls until y'all get our names right. All right?
Sissies.
But
anyway, that's an
how many
inside
Super
joke
Bowls
for
y'all
us.
got?
People that's just inside.
Nah,
joke
hold on.
for us.
How many Super Bowls y'all got?
Well, we got 4.
You got 4 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
You still behind us, all right?
That's all right.
All right.
We catch you because y'all don't look too good even this year. But
I think we're gonna surprise a lot of people this year.
Yeah, I think so too. Surprises, y'all gonna be like last year. But anyway,
weren't we better than y'all last year too?
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's talk
the
about
audacity.
Only thing I want to talk about right now, just to pay homage to the Pope Francis.
Pope Francis, yes,
who passed away on. He died on April 21st, 2025. Mm-hmm. He was a man of God, I would say, Catholic. You know, the Catholic religion. I'd just like to say he was a man of everyone. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what race, creed, color. He preached the same way. You know what I mean? Preached the love of God and how we should treat each other. I give great homage to that because that's in the Word. So just a shout out to the Pope. He's being buried today outside the Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting buried today. So and he had millions of people just to come view his body.
He's still popular.
Pay respects to the man. So I'm just eager to see who the next Pope is going to be, and hopefully he's just got that same mentality as far as loving on us all, loving on all people, all race, creeds, and colors. So that's it to the Pope Francis. We miss you, we love you, and we hope you have eternal peace. Any words?
No.
Well, I'll be dog.
No, the Pope did what the Pope did.
And
he led how he led. And hopefully the next Pope will be better, if not as good. One thing that the Pope has to do.
I thought you had nothing to say
about that Pope.
Okay, good.
One thing that the Pope has to do, because this Pope can't do anything. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Right? Yeah. And may the Lord rest his soul.
Amen.
But moving forward, one thing that the Pope has to do is the Pope has to be definitive on his stances. You have to be definitive on your stances. You can't issue an edict and then remove it or backtrack off of it. That's not, if you do that, then you must do it with explanation. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Don't just issue the edict and then don't, stand firm on it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you turn around and you back off of it, or you turn away from it, you reverse it.
Is there a particular thing you're trying to get to?
Well, for a long time, the Catholic Church was against the homosexual family unit. And then this Pope, he kind of changed his position on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, I don't know if the next Pope is going to go back to the original position. or if he's going to continue with the same stance that this Pope just had.
Mhm.
I think that whatever he decides to do, he must give the people an explanation. If he makes any changes, give the people an explanation why, and back that up with scripture. You feel me?
Oh yeah,
back that up with scripture. So that's what I hope for the church in the future, because for a long time the Catholic Church was also against divorce, and then they softened their stance on that as well. So does it say the church is an institution that is progressive or in the middle where of transitioning, or are you saying also in the process of saying that they're progressive and they're transitioning, you're also probably saying as well that they are also, what's the word I'm looking for? In flux, fluctuating. You feel me? Because they could be going up and down and moving all about and not really stable. And one thing that we learn in the church, and I know you're taught this because I'm taught this, is that we must have stability. We must have stability. So hopefully the next Pope comes in and he establishes that stability. He has to remain firm on his convictions.
And when we say stand firm, we stand firm on the position of homosexuality.
Everything pertaining to scripture.
Okay.
Everything pertaining to scripture.
All right. So all right.
If you're going to say that divorce is not welcomed in the church, then that's your position. You got to stand firm on it.
Okay. So
if you say the homosexual family unit is not acceptable, then you have to stand firm on it. You can't be shifting because times are changing. No. The word don't change.
No, the word don't change.
It's the interpretation of it that's the problem.
It's time do change though.
Time does. I didn't say time don't. I said the word don't.
Right.
Time doesn't cause you to change your position on things if you're basing your position on the word.
So what I wanna just get to is when you say stand firm on divorce, what specifically we stand for? We don't accept people who are divorced.
No.
What are we saying?
You don't co-sign divorce.
Okay.
You don't advocate for divorce, right?
Okay.
Again, at the same time, you don't condemn people who get divorced.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
See, because that's what it sounds like when it comes out.
But that's not what I'm saying.
All right, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm going to get to.
Because y'all know they ain't know it.
Listen, I'm telling you, because people in this world could take it that way.
That's way.
So we got to make it clear.
That's true.
This is when I say that. We got to make it clear to what we're understanding.
You're right. You're absolutely right. There's
because people will take it that way, and we got to make that clear. That's the only reason why, because I say people,
Yeah. You work with something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I do too. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's common.
Yeah. It's common.
And for some reason in this country, it seems to be growing. That seems to be growing where people are just misunderstanding each other.
I'm telling you. That's the only concern I have. And when I say the Pope was for everybody, my thing is whether you're in sin or you ain't in sin, he always showed you equality. Love and equality, yes.
And he took the hit. He took the hit for that.
He took the hit for that.
But you can't change your position on it.
No, I
you still can show somebody love without changing your position.
Oh yeah, that's the basis I'm trying to say right there. We can still show people love and not change the basis, because we know a lot of stuff ain't right. But we can't fault them. They have to see it for themselves. Most of the people. That's why I say, all right. This is why I say we have to be careful with how we talk about homosexuality, divorce, theft, whatever the sin is, because the sin, we have to tell them about their sin. You know what I'm saying? And say the love of God can bring you out of that sin. That's what we gotta say. We gotta say the love of God can bring you out of that sin.
This is true.
So we can't shun them and push them away.
Right.
We have to accept and love on them and show them that the love of God has them.
That's true, brother. Hey, amen.
And that's what we mean by, sticking to your guns on stuff. We still have to stick to the guns and not accept those things, but we have to show them the love. Yeah, we gotta
be firm.
We gotta show them the love of God. We gotta show them the love of God.
And that's not to condemn them. Again, like we just said, that's not we. And this Pope, he kind of like didn't try to go that route where he wanted to come off like that. And I understand it. So hopefully the next Pope will be just as diplomatic, right?
Yeah, because I don't think he chooses sides. I think he always shows the love of God, because Jesus got condemned for what he did.
Of course.
So I mean, you could expect that.
Right.
You're gonna expect that.
You're gonna expect that.
If you're walking with Christ, you may get condemned.
Right, but middle of the road policing does not work. You listen. This is a biblical fact.
Yeah, you can't be in the middle of the road.
You can't be in the middle.
You got to be all in for Jesus. Oh, it ain't gonna work.
Somebody's gonna. If you got two parties in a dispute, they both can say something that's true, but the issue is not who's lying about each other. The issue is who's lying about the reason why they're in the dispute. Follow me? So take for instance, you got Stanley. We're gonna put the imaginary characters out there. Stanley.
I don't like Stanley.
You don't even know who Stanley is.
That's true.
I don't like Stanley. Stanley, and let's say you got another cat named Bartholomew.
Bartholomew. I don't like him either.
Yeah,
Bartholomew.
Stanley Bartholomew. So now let's say that Stanley,
they don't roll off the tongue,
broke Bartholomew's guitar. Right?
Was it intentional or accident?
It was an accident.
Okay,
but he broke it.
It's broke.
Now Bartholomew wasn't a good. He wasn't a good guitar player to begin with. But he loved that little piece of guitar.
He loved it.
He loved it. He was crying and everything.
It was priceless.
It's priceless to him. Yeah. He only paid like $20. But it was priceless. Yeah, I know how that goes. Got some cheap stuff, but it got sentimental value.
Yes.
And so they started arguing. And this is something that's happening a lot in America today. A lot in America today. People are taking their disagreements and making them personal. They're attacking each other. Rather than dealing with the issue, they're attacking each other. So guess one of the first things that come out of Stanley's mouth? Well, you was terrible with the guitar anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You were a terrible guitar player. So now Stanley's accusing him of being a bad guitar player. And Bartholomew now has to come back and say, well, you was this, that, and the other thing, and did it. So he's accusing him of something because the issue is not who's telling the truth about each other's character or each other's skills. The issue is the guitar being broken.
Yeah.
And that's where we are right now in America. This is a lot of that's going on. A lot of that. They're making it personal. They're arguing. People are using profanity. They're cursing at each other. Meanwhile, the issue at hand is not being addressed. You follow me?
Yeah.
As believers in Christ, our issue is not the person's nature or character or skills and abilities. It is the issue that needs to be addressed, which is the nature or the cause of the dispute. You follow me?
Yeah.
So if Stanley and Bartholomew had to come stand between us and give an account come stand before us and give us an account of what happened. If you were the judge and if I was the judge, we can't go by how Stanley or Bartholomew look. We can't go by how their lifestyle, how they're living. We can't go by how much money either one of them have or whatever their gender is or gender preference, whatever that is, or whatever their sexual identity is. It's the same thing, right? We can't go by, how they speak.
Yeah.
how they carry themselves. Whether one of them slouches down, the other one's like this. We can't go by any of that. We got to go by the facts of what brought on the dispute.
Yeah.
Why are they in our presence for us to hear their cause?
Yeah.
And that is the broken guitar
Mm-hmm.
and the facts pertaining to it.
So the basis of that is just to solve the issue of the guitar between the two.
That's it. That's it. So
think-
we're in a country now in America where everything has become ultra personal.
Yeah.
Everything has become ultra personal. How the Pope, you talk about the Pope took a hit for, how he took his stance, things. That is a fact. So hopefully the next Pope will be more, just as diplomatic, but more conviction on his stand. He got to be firm on where he stands. Look at what's happening in the court system. With this Garcia, right? Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The issue is not his personal life, man. That ain't the issue. But that's all certain news outlets are talking about. Oh, he's MS-13 and oh, he's a wife beater. And then when you go get the facts, all of that goes out the window. Because the fact is, he's a citizen in America. He was granted the ability and the right to stay here in America, right? And so there was a court order saying he could not be deported from America, right? And all those things right there were violated the moment that they deported him. So you can bring up his history all you want. You can bring up his gang affiliation all you want. You can bring up his marriage all you want. You can bring up his ethnicity all you want. You can bring all that up if you want to. But deal with the issue that is at the core and the heart of the dispute, which is, was he or was he not supposed to be deported? And the fact that the Trump administration admitted they were not supposed to deport him, now you have a concrete, solid case.
Yep. But then this what kills me. They don't want to go get him. They said, well, we can't do nothing. As long as he can get to an airport, we'll make sure he get back.
That's what they said?
Yeah. As long as he can get to the airport, we'll bring him back. I'm like, well, how you gonna get out of jail?
Wait a minute, time out.
As long as he can get.
They said as long as he can get to the airport?
Yeah, as long as he gets to the airport, we'll make arrangements to get him back. I was like, what? I was like,
you can't make this stuff up, bro.
Can't make it
You can't make this stuff up. Oh my goodness, bro. I didn't hear that. I never heard that. They said as long as he gets to the airport.
If he can get back to the airport, we'll bring him back. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's why the governor of Maryland went out there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Governor of Maryland.
He said if he can get to
the airport, we'll bring him back. And that's when the president from El Salvador was here. He said, well, we know we.
Now, see, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that at all.
That was at that meeting when he came in El Salvador. Said, well, we can't do it. We can't get it. We can't do it. And we're like, what?
And see, the point that I'm making here with conviction, standing firm on your principles or your statements or your declaration or your edicts, whatever it is you're doing, standing firm on. If you're going to back off of them, give the people a legitimate reason.
Yeah.
Give them a explanation that is something that they can actually look at, listen to, hear, and say, I understand.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't create more chaos and confusion.
Yeah, but I just blame that whole administration. That's how they want.
It's
chaos.
It's mired in chaos and confusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing but chaos and confusion. And so we're still going on in this country, but we're being affected by that. There's chaos and confusion everywhere. right?
Yeah.
Everybody's ultra personalizing everything.
Yeah.
You saw it with the draft.
Mm-hmm.
With Shedeur Sanders not getting drafted in the first
Oh
round.
man, I was gonna wait a little bit, but you want to get into this now?
Let's do it.
We can change the segment.
Let's do it. It's a segue.
I was gonna wait till at least 10 more minutes, but that's all right. We can get into it. But yeah, according to the draft, man. I mean, the top story is like you suggested is Shedeur dropped not from first round to the second round to the third round. We now in the fifth round.
He might not make it at all.
And this guy, talented young brother,
very talented
young brother who's not getting even. He's been looked over by teams at least twice now, and other teams have picked quarterbacks and not picked him. It's crazy.
Why?
I mean, to me, I think it's all about. To me, me personally.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay, to me personally.
Because I could ask America, but they can't respond to stuff on the comment.
Unless they call. Yeah. But anyway.
We didn't get the number. That's coming though.
But yeah.
Go ahead.
To me personally, I think it's just too much hearsay, if I want to say that.
As far as what?
His on his, not even personal, it's like on his attitude towards football. His
towards football?
Towards the game, yeah, because it's like his attitude towards the game, period. Because they don't believe, I don't know if they believe if he can do the job. I mean, all they gotta do is look at tape. If they base this on tape and watching film on this guy, I don't see why he ain't been drafted. But now I think what comes into effect is what people saying about him. What people is talking about him, he can't do this, he can't do that. And I think a lot of organizations is starting to believe what they're hearing and not believing in what they saw on tape.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole thing with Shedeur Sanders. And I just hope this brother get the opportunity. And when he do, I hope he blow it out the water. To me personally.
My take on it is that I feel as though, as I said, they're ultra personalizing everything. You talked about his attitude. And I think that part of that is his attitude. You can't say it's arrogance and cockiness and egotism and all that stuff. Egoism, all that stuff. A lot of players have that. Am I right?
Yeah.
A lot of players. I would say, I would venture out to say better than 50% of the NFL players have a
confidence.
Overconfidence.
Yeah.
I would say better than 30% are extremely arrogant. Extremely arrogant. Not everybody in the NFL is humble, bro.
Nope.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. Not everybody's humble.
And I'm not sure if that means, I mean, I think you gotta have that to a certain extent.
Oh, to a certain extent. Because when they go to them dinners and everything, they got the Hall of Famers there. Yeah, they're gonna be humble.
Yeah, they're gonna be humble. The guys who came before them, yeah, they're gonna be humble. But at the same time, if you want to succeed in this game, you gotta have a certain attitude to get you through, because
mentality.
A certain mentality, because ain't nobody gonna get up in the morning and tell you, yo, go out there and do that. They got to do that for themselves. And some of that confidence and that building up, that's what gets them up in the morning.
The challenge.
Yeah, the challenge is the whole thing.
And there's nothing wrong with you taking it as a personal challenge to do better every day but you gotta have that's when you're talking about drive. Now you're talking about drive.
Yeah.
So I look at it like that. Shedeur Sanders has a strong drive. He's a little bit braggadocious. So this was a very humbling experience. But you can have a humbling experience without it being humiliating.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like borderline cruelty right here.
Yeah, this is.
Now, if you want to say, well, he got injured in one of the games, the last game of his senior season, and it was a back injury, then use that. Come out and say that. But he's been cleared, right? He's been healed from that. So what else could it be? He shows off that the pass behind the back to the wide receiver. The wide receiver caught it, and he started laughing. And he walked off. That's what I heard. Now, whether or not that's the truth,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the stuff of legends. Now, here's how I see it. One more time about Shedeur Sanders and his football future.
Okay, he's been drafted.
Who drafted him?
The Browns.
All right, the Browns got him.
5th round.
5th round, Browns got him. All right.
Number 4,
all right. Good. Now, here's what I say about him. And I put this on X. He reminds me of RG3.
Mm-hmm.
Remember RG3?
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad man. That was a bad man coming out of college, right? But he had that injury, right? Went to Washington, right?
Yeah.
Still took him to the playoffs with a bad injury, right?
Yeah, he did.
That was a bad man. He got injured again,
Mm-hmm.
right? So then he went to Baltimore, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was never quite the same after the whole Washington Redskins at that time situation. So he decided to call it quits on the football career. I wonder what would have happened to him if he remained playing football.
Mm-hmm.
So here you have another great player, Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham was a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So a lot of people they're looking at Shedeur. This is me. I'm not just the only one. It's quite a few people that's looking at Shedeur Sanders, and they see similarities between the two men, RG3 and Randall Cunningham. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying right now, coming out, he's going to be like RG3. He's got that potential, man. He could take a team to the playoffs, but with the proper training and the right people around him, that growth process, when that hits and kicks in, he can end up becoming just as phenomenal as Randall Cunningham was. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, Randall Cunningham is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So I said, whoever drafts Shedeur Sanders, and you just said Cleveland just got him.
Cleveland Browns got him.
Got a good player.
They got a good player.
I think so. He's going to have a good career, man.
I think he's going to go crazy. He's going to go bonkers.
And
it's going to be for me, it's going to be nice to see him challenge for that starting spot.
Now, if he do get that starting spot, he should anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking he's clearly going to be the better quarterback. When they do play the Giants, it's going to be on the pop.
I don't even know. Yeah, I expect that. But I don't know.
Because you guys spent all that time on him and you didn't draft. And then y'all said some things about him after the draft.
Who said something about him?
Was it Shane or was it Dable? I think one of the reports that came out of Giants camp was that he didn't have a good interview with y'all.
Yeah, that was told by Todd McShay.
Todd McShay.
He reported that.
Yeah, he reported that. But who was the one that leaked that? Who was the one that he interviewed?
I don't know. But my thing is they addressed that in an interview.
What did they say?
Dable and Shane.
What did they say?
He said all our interviews went the same.
So he never said it was a bad interview?
Nope. He never
said Todd McShay's lying?
I don't know. Yeah, he probably is. Whoever told him.
He said he probably is.
Either that or whoever told him.
So we can't trust Todd McShay anymore.
Nah, I ain't saying he can't touch whoever told him.
Well, you just said the man lying.
Whoever told him that information
is lying.
You probably is lying.
Well, he passed.
So who
said it?
Who said it?
That's the question.
I don't know.
Was it? You think it was your?
I don't think
one of your owners.
You think Dable went out and told Todd McShay that?
I don't know. I'm not an insider on the Giants.
I did.
But I do know your owners.
That's what I'm saying.
Your owners, they do got a little Jerry Jones in them.
No, they ain't got Jerry Jones.
Yes,
no Jerry. We ain't nothing like Jerry Jones. Nothing. Because Jerry Jones do the picking. We don't do the picking.
No, they don't.
Mara do not do the picking.
Yeah, but he gets in front of the news every now and again, right? He gets in front of the media.
Now, this came out of one of y'all old players' mouth.
What's that?
Jimmy Smith said. He said, for the last couple of years, they don't have a plan. Cowboys do not have a plan.
Yeah, they do that. They got one now.
I don't know if they got one now. He said, in order, because he looking at the draft. He's like, what's y'all draft order?
Mm-hmm.
What is y'all plan? He said, he don't know. So for the Cowboys, y'all took a guard, right? Took an edge rusher and a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all still got a lot of picks. Y'all picking in a few minutes. Y'all picking 140.
See that?
140. What's the name? Yeah. Huh?
You see that right there?
What did it say?
How much did his immaturity scare off the Giants? All of the nonsense. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Now, I read Todd McShay's comment.
What did he say?
He said, let me see.
He didn't give his source, so he didn't give up his source.
Nah, he ain't gonna give up his source. But all I'm saying is he said,
step forth, Todd.
This what he said was Sanders. Sanders was giving some I guess some play callings or whatever, according to prior to the interview. And he said when he came into the interview and Dable got on him about it, said, look, you weren't prepared. You know what I'm saying? You know, I guess you know how coaches to ask these players for a play, especially quarterbacks. They ask them to recite the play again after they talk to him about something else. Then they ask him, say he wasn't prepared for that. That's what he said. That's what Todd McShay said. But according to Dable, he said all the interviews went great. They just chose to go with Jackson Dart because he was, I guess, a better fit for his offense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Now, who's lying? I don't know. But if I'm a Giant fan, I'm going to have to believe what Dable said because he's the coach.
He's the coach.
He's the coach.
Yeah, I don't.
Ultimately, if it don't work, he won't be the coach no more. That's
simple as that.
As simple as that.
Now, if and this would take a miracle for it to happen because I just think Jackson Dart is just that good. I like Jackson Dart. And he reminds me of Troy Aikman. I said that early and I said that often. And I think that he's going to have one of those careers. Hopefully he doesn't get y'all to a Super Bowl.
Yes, he will.
Hopefully y'all, because all of the mocking that y'all did for us, the Cowboys, we want to see y'all go through what we went through so that we can say, hey, man, we were there. Right now, y'all not too far away from us. But I don't think that he's a bad quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. And you take my hat off to your team. Y'all had a phenomenal draft.
Yeah.
Like nobody.
I'm satisfied with the draft.
I can't hate on the Giants. I really can't. Y'all had a great draft. Now, Cowboys, on the other hand, so far we disappointed, man. We didn't get a running back.
You got one.
We did?
Yeah.
Who we get?
Jaden Blue from Texas.
Okay, all right, that's cool. I'll take that. All right, I take that back. I'm not that disappointed now.
I told you a few minutes about the pick, but that was
we had
Jaden Blue from
we
Texas.
have some very good picks. We have some very good picks. But the number one thing that I'm really glad that my team did not do, bro, I mean this from the bottom of my heart.
Take a wide receiver.
Yes, man. If we took a wide receiver with number one pick, I'd have been.
Well, why do you say that?
Because we don't need a wide receiver at number 1 point with the number one pick. We don't need a wide receiver. That would not work for the Dallas Cowboys.
So you don't think y'all need another? I ain't say number one. You pick this late, you ain't gonna be number one.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a contributor.
The talk was Cowboys drafting on most mock drafts after they got past the Ashton Genty thing. And I was really hoping we would have got Ashton Genty. It would have been over.
Nah, y'all wasn't getting it.
It'd have been over. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, and Ashton. Come on, man. It's a wrap.
You was believing that hype when they said the Raiders didn't want
Yeah, man. I put that out there on X and everything. I was like, yeah, man. The Raiders said they don't want him, man.
You know what killed me about that?
Raiders a bunch of liars.
When he was the head coach of the Seahawks.
Seahawks. Yeah.
Who was they running back?
Yeah, they was Marshawn Lynch.
That's it.
Yeah. He loved to run the ball. Yeah.
He loved to run the ball.
Then they got Carter the third.
Kevin Carter he's going to come right ahead and change the Raiders into the old Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah,
he had to have a running back.
But they had 3 running backs on the roster. But I'm glad they went out and they drafted. No.
Not like
There's no team that has an Ashton. I'm going to say this right now, and I mean what I say.
Ashton Gentry.
Saquon is a bad man.
Yeah,
but he is not Ashton Gentry.
I don't know.
He is not Ashton Gentry. Ashton Gentry is a generational player. Saquon is a very good running back, but Ashton Gentry is a generational player. When you got to, how often do you hear that from every NFL team? All 32 teams said they would draft him in the first round. Every 32 team, all 32. And if Tennessee didn't really need a quarterback like they did, which I was shocked that they needed a quarterback that bad.
Who?
Tennessee. I didn't think they needed a quarterback that bad.
They need a quarterback, man.
They just drafted a quarterback.
Who?
The dude that they had starting. What his name? Levitt.
He 2 years in, and they ain't getting nowhere with him, right?
Well,
my thing is,
was that because
Tennessee,
the quarterback was bad, or was that because
Tennessee,
the coaching was bad?
Whatever.
Will Levis.
Yeah, Will Levis.
Or Levi's, however you say that.
It's Levis.
And then they had Mason Rudolph. Then they had Tony Pollard, Ty J. Spears,
Mason
and Julius
Rudolph
Chestnut.
Went back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he left.
And
they needed a quarterback.
Yeah, they needed a quarterback.
Yeah, they needed a quarterback.
And I think Levis,
and then Cleveland definitely needed a quarterback.
Oh, definitely.
But that's why
they took their time, though.
They surprised everybody and dropped down and let Jacksonville take my man Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
That was a surprise. But Dallas had a solid draft. But I think your guys, the Giants draft was a little bit better than Dallas.
I think we basically got what we need. And
y'all got
think
that
now,
and then some.
Yeah.
And getting Scatterbo.
Yeah, but I'm thinking now we just getting people in here now to compete. They gonna compete to stay on the field. Because I think we got depth everywhere. The only real place we ain't got depth is probably the safety spot.
So you know what this means, right?
But
moving forward, you know what this means.
It's gonna be a lot of people get cut when they go down to that 53-man roster.
This means
so
that this season, with the team that you guys are building, this comes down to one thing and one thing only, bro. Coaching.
It is.
Coaching. So
but I believe in the coaching.
You believe in Dable.
I believe in Dable. Because Dable, you know how I feel. But I'm gonna tell everybody. Dable couldn't get what he wanted to get done due to quarterback play. We had a lame duck in Daniel Jones. We all inspired him to be something. It didn't work. I think that's why they gave him that contract that they could get out of 2 years, just in case. They gave a shot. I said the owner said he wanted to work with Daniel Jones because he didn't think he got a fair shot of being consistent with a head coach.
All right, this just in, brother.
Because Daniel Jones had like 3 head coaches.
Listen, this just in. The Donald Trump impeachment train is gaining support based on his failure to abide by the Supreme Court ruling.
Yeah, well, he should have been impeached, man. He breaking rules everywhere.
True.
Without Congress.
True, but I guess this was the last act. And you know what I think this is tied directly to? Because I put this on X earlier. This is tied directly to the Times Magazine article. Have you heard about that?
What he said?
Where he said he didn't know a lot of the stuff that he's supposed to know. He's getting his information from lawyers and others. That quote others. That's the scary part. Now, we already know he got bad lawyers. His lawyers are terrible, y'all.
They crooked.
They
on the clock.
He said
they crooked. They who was one former mayor of New York?
Well, yeah, he's not his lawyer.
He was his lawyer.
Well, he's not now.
He was.
He was.
How crooked was he?
Very, very.
He
allowed himself to become perverted and corrupted.
No, he ain't lied. He jumped right in. He ain't lied. He jumped in.
He allowed it.
He jumped right in.
Maybe it was a money thing. I don't know.
He jumped in. He said, "Oh, he from New York. I'm gonna take up for him."
Could be.
Bump.
Could be.
He went down with the ship too.
But that Time magazine, which came out recently, man, that thing is powerful. You know, I equate that to the Hush Money trial. and how all that stuff came out with the hush money, and nobody really knew behind the scenes. I was like, oh my goodness.
My thing is, I didn't read the article yet.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I heard bits and parts about the tariffs part of the article that he got all these negotiations. That was on this morning, and I was watching it.
He was lying.
He lied about that. He said he negotiated with other countries about the tariffs and everything. 100%. He said, because they directly asked.
Bruh, did you spot on asked.
Yeah, and then they said, when you gonna let all this stuff out? And he said, nothing. Come on now. What you gonna do? How you gonna just sit up there
and just
lie like that? But that's Trump. He a liar.
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. So the impeachment is now moving forward and is picking up more support. And I when I heard about the article and I saw it for myself, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, the first person was Ben Masalis. He's the first person that I saw put the information out there. And he actually had the guy, Eric, I think his name is Eric Matthews, who did the interview with Trump. Mm-hmm. And when I saw it, and he put the transcript up. So there's no, you hear Trump's voice and you get all lost in what he's saying and you can misinterpret it. You read it for yourself. The fact that Trump admitted that he's not running the country, that right there, I was like, wow. And how do you say, well, how can you come to that conclusion that he admitted he's not running the country? Because he said when he's on every question that the interviewer asked him, Trump basically either lied about it, and when he wasn't lying, he referred to someone else giving him information, especially when it came to the Garcia situation, the deportation of Garcia.
Yeah.
He said, his lawyers didn't tell me. I'm like, your lawyers didn't tell you? What? He said, yeah, nobody asked me about that but you. I'm sitting there saying to myself, this is
yeah, because you're the president of the United States. You should know everything that's going on.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, you're the president of the United States, bro.
Man, we seen TV shows of president based on the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And every 10 minutes you see somebody coming in, Mr. President, this is happening. This
exactly.
Happening. Even in movies. So they get reported and everything. So you can't tell me.
You don't know.
You don't know. It's like I think he know, but he choose not to know. Like, I didn't know that. He just lying.
It's like you go to the comedy store and the comedian tells a great joke at the show, and the person sitting next to you is lying, not lying, but cracking up. They're laughing and cracking up. La, 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 la. Then they turn around and say, huh? You laughing, you do all that laughing, you ain't get the joke. Yeah. That's kind of Trump. Like you said, he'll hear it, but he's not listening to really understand it. Mm-hmm. So he's just like, and I get that. I've seen the Oval Office conferences, press conferences, and it's how can I say this? I don't want to be offensive. I'll put it like this. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
All right. It's disappointing. Yeah. So that article, when it comes out, a lot of people are going to read it. They're going to hear Trump's answers. And here's what's really hurting Trump too. You talked about how could he just lie like that? He was talking about having conversations with the president of China.
Yeah, they said.
And China came out and was put it on social media.
Said that's not true.
We never talked to him. They're telling the American people and everybody in the world, and then Russia is clowning Trump, and that's what's really hurting them too.
Mm-hmm.
Russia is clowning the mess out of Trump.
Mm-hmm. Didn't one of our soldiers die over there?
Four soldiers died in Lithuania. Right, so our prayers are with their families.
Yeah.
And that was some time ago. That was a couple of months ago, I think it was.
Okay. A couple of weeks ago. Recent.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. Not that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. It happened this year. And he didn't know anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there saying to myself, what is going on with this White House?
Trump is bad.
What is going on with this administration?
And then you have Access putting all these missions Republican access to his
the party
wife,
animal. Party animal.
Yeah, his wife have access to it, his brother. Come on now. This is man. If people got hold of the information that he was putting out on this so-called,
and they were able to react in real time, to offset what they were trying to do, it would have been really bad.
It's just amazing me. I mean, any official, general, lieutenant governor, whatever they would have been fired.
And that's another problem. You see how this thing all ties in together, because we talked about the Pope standing firm on his convictions, and whatever he decrees, standing firm. And if you change your position on it, give the people an explanation as to why you did it, right? And first of all, if you're going to decree anything, make sure that is biblical at its foundation. And if you change, if you make a decree and then you change it, make sure that the change is also biblical, right? Make sure that there's a scripture you can fall back on. And Trump was saying, and he was bragging about it, the tariffs on China are not going to change. I'm going to keep them at 145. I'm going to keep them where they at. And Trump changed. He blinked. You know, my boy, he don't like to hear me say this. He don't like me to say this, but I say it all the time. So I said, yeah, he got punked. Trump got punked.
Yeah, that's all it is.
China did it with the 1-2 pop.
Yeah.
China,
look, we don't need y'all. We can survive with everything without y'all.
Yeah, and that's the thing that was cracking me up. China was like, yeah, y'all go ahead. Y'all ain't been around for 200 years.
Yeah.
We've been around surviving for 5,000. I was like, good Lord, Jesus. These people are killing us. They just killing us. They trolling the mess out of America.
And this is
our president is hurting us.
Yeah, because he's trying to be a bully.
Yeah.
Plain straight up bully.
China said, you guys go ahead. Y'all only been here for like a couple of 100 years.
Yeah.
We've been here for thousands of years.
Yeah. I said, y'all only gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, that's all this. And they were dropping that wisdom. Y'all only gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, your parents used to say, "This is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you."
But yeah, that's the basis of it. Goodness. Yeah, but I think it's gonna take Republicans to go in there and impeach. Also, they're gonna all have to, because I think Democrats are already on board with impeaching this guy, because
that was day one.
That was day one. He's gonna have to get it from his own party.
And that's what's happening now.
Yeah, and the more he keep doing what he doing,
and that's what the title is talking about. It's gaining support because we already knew that the Democrats was on board, but now you got Republicans slowly and quietly, but surely getting on board.
Because you know what's happening is,
was they still getting beat up in the town halls?
No, not even that.
What?
Trump messing with their money too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Trump messing with everybody's money.
Trump messing with their money too. Hey, you messing with our money too, bro.
Yeah.
What is you doing?
Yeah. You start messing with people's money.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard sell, man.
Yeah.
But
that's the whole thing.
And I heard that Elon Musk is stepping down.
Yeah.
I heard that Elon Musk is stepping down. I don't know if that's true.
Now, is that pressure from the corporations he with, or is that?
I heard I heard about that. I heard he was getting pressure from the corporations.
Yeah, because I know he was getting pressure from Tesla.
Okay.
Tesla's telling him, yo, we need you. You need to come back here. Stop spending all your time in Washington. And so I don't know if he's getting pressure from there or from the people of the United States saying we don't need him, or you know what I mean? It could be a little bit of both.
Right.
Could be a little bit of both, or half one and half the other. Maybe not a little bit, but it could be both. Excuse me. All I'm saying is, it's going, whoever's the next president, whoever get handed the presidency or something, you know, if they get impeached or whatever, I don't know. Whoever come behind this administration gonna have a whole lot to clean up. They gonna have a whole lot to clean up.
Clean up, not on our floor.
Not on our floor.
Clean up in the White House.
And clean up in the White House, the Congress, relationships, foreign relations, your own people, getting that your government agencies. That's a whole lot of cleaning up. But I think I nominate Ronald McConaughey for president. You know why? You gonna clean it up.
I would clean it up, but I wouldn't be for everybody. I'll be a president for everybody, but everybody wouldn't like what I do.
He's already racist coming in. I mean, but you gonna like it.
Not racist.
What did you say?
Because as a U.S. citizen, I'm going to support you as a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
But promoting a lifestyle, I'm not going to do that.
But you can't promote a lifestyle. People gonna live their life.
I'm fine with letting people live their life.
That's it.
As long as you live in your life does not encroach upon another person's freedom.
That's it.
That's it.
All right.
Because and I think that's why in this country we're having that issue of everybody ultra personalizing everything. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're becoming more attacking and less, rather being conversational, they're being confrontational. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're becoming more attacking. And I hear even when Christians be talking, the attacks come out.
Oh, yeah, they're going to come out.
Oh, you such and such and such. Really? How do we get there? Oh, you this and that and this. I'm like, really? How do we get there? What are y'all talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I've been involved in a few of them. And the Lord put it in my spirit. He said, hey, man, don't get involved in no conversations like that. Don't go that route.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the route to go. Mm-hmm. So I said, you know what, Lord? I stand convicted. Forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to the brother that I was having conversations with, and I said, I'm not doing that anymore, bro. If I'm not setting out to offend you, I tell him from before I even get any further with the next sentence that I'm going to say. I say, hey, bro, I don't mean to say this to offend you or anything. So I put it and I phrase it in a way that if he finds himself in that group, he's in that group. I say, but this is the problem with these people that think like this. This is the problem with these people that behave like this. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than saying, you like do that. No. You don't want to do that with anybody that you're trying to have a conversation with. You want to scale that back because especially if you do have respect for the individual that you're talking to, you don't want to put that out there on them to make them think that this is what you really think about them, when it's clearly not what you really think about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't want them thinking like that.
Right.
Because that can damage your relationship.
I think it's all in how we respond to certain situations. Our response has to be in love because it could turn chaotic real fast.
Yeah.
Real fast. I'm like, look, I'm not here to judge you or whatever the situation may be. I'm just here to be an ear and then tell you my perspective on it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I mean, if they can't understand that, then you don't have the problem. They have the problem.
And that's the thing, man. We want to make sure that the problems that we can eliminate, we eliminate as we grow in grace. Right?
Yeah.
And the word tells us, let your words be seasoned with grace. Yeah. So how we speak to people has to be coming from a place where our relationship with the Lord is evident.
Yeah.
You follow me? Mm-hmm. And that's something that this country is not, at this point in history, gravitating to. Mm-hmm. Whether you're in the church or out of the church. Yeah. We're talking about it's not on full display. Mm-hmm. Everybody is like, not everybody, but a lot of people are becoming more attack.
But I think that's, you know what? I hate the administration. This administration is co-signing all that. It's co-signing, letting that up because they act a lot like that. People in the administration, the MAGA Republicans. I'm not even saying all Republicans, but you know the MAGA ones who believe in Donald Trump. They promote all of that, and they live off of that, and they supposed to be Christians.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's not how Christ wanted it to be. I'm sorry to tell y'all that, but I'm probably quite proud of that because I'm telling you, Christ didn't want us to live that way. I said we can't be in chaos and confrontation and get things problem solved. That's not the way. That's not God's standards. He don't even want that for us. He wants us to live in love, peace, and harmony. That's it. And we have to learn how to do that. The only way we could do that is live Christ-like. What we call living in love.
Living in love.
Living in love. Because I tell you, and I mean, I just think we all need to get that. I mean, and you imagine how much this world would be if we did that. Nobody really arguing or fighting, everybody getting along.
Man, that would be awesome.
It's a great world to live in.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, and peace on earth, right?
That's what we're striving for. That's what we're supposed to be moving toward.
Right.
And also, we're supposed to be trying to bring in with that safety that God is ensuring in his grace and his mercy.
Yeah.
If we all look out for each other, that grace, that mercy that God has given us, that's going to expand, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll be walking in that safety that comes with that grace and that mercy. There's safety.
Yeah.
In the grace and mercy of God. There's safety. And a lot of what we have to do in this country to repair the damage done centuries ago that's still ongoing is really up to us, those of us that's going to be the next generation. And we got to share that with the generation under us, because they're going to have to share with the generation under them, and so on and so on. It took generations to destroy what God had planned.
Yeah.
It's going to take generations to repair what was destroyed. And I think we can get there. I don't really want to say not in our lifetime, because with God all things are possible. But at the moment, the way it looks right now, it's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice. A lot of us, everybody's going to have to sacrifice on some level. And if we can all get that now, we can move forward. But you touched on it. This administration is not walking in a way that reflects what the country needs.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And
that's the summarization. I agree with that.
Because I don't think this administration realized how much that affects everything else.
Yeah.
It affects everything.
Yeah.
They're on that pedestal of leadership. The administration is on that pedestal of leadership. We can't get nowhere. If you're on that pedestal of leadership, you have to be the leader of all people, right? And you have to understand that everybody's going to look at you. And if you're in chaos and creating the chaos, that's what they're going to see.
Key word.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Ask yourself this question, people. Why is chaos the most common word that is associated with America today? The other word that's associated with America today is what? Confusion. Chaos and confusion. Why are those two words? Predominantly chaos, though, especially with this administration. Good Lord, this administration is chaotic. Why are those two words the two biggest words associated with America today? What's the third? Greed. What's the fourth? Selfishness. What's the fifth? Pride. What's the sixth? Arrogance. You follow? Those aren't just words that people just make up and throw at you because they don't like you or they disagree with you. No, those are words that people actually sit down, observe us as a country operating in, and then they make that determination. This is what these people are walking in. This is what this country is about right now. Like I said, everything has become ultra personalized, man. We're not conversating, we're conflicting. You know, we're having controversies that are unnecessary. How many scandals has this White House had already? About 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
And there's many more to come. The lies have to stop. The Bible tells us, it says the liar that listens, it says that the leader that listens to the ruler, actually, the ruler that listens to the lie, to listen to lies, to listen to liars, makes all of the servants wicked. That's the word, right?
Yep.
So we have to stop in a position of leadership. We're the ones that have to correct these things. So that means you got to definitely know those that labor among you. Right?
Yeah.
Brother, we in a situation now where we're in transition. This administration is trying to do something that they say has never been done. No, everything that they're doing has already been done. The problem is they're trying to do it all in one shot. That's the problem. Now that has never been done. Everything that they're doing in one shot, that's never been done. But what they're doing throughout every administration in this country has been done. You follow me? Trimming agencies, that's been done. Tariffs, imposing tariffs, that's been done. You follow me? Finding and fighting fraud in government agencies, that's been done, right? Immigration policies, enforcing them, that's been done. Improving them, that's been done. So everything that they're talking about doing has already been done. It's just at the same time in 1 minute, they're trying to do everything in 1 minute, and it takes hours to do these. And they're trying to do it in 1 minute. That's never been done.
Yeah,
there's a reason why that is.
I think the other thing is they're not doing it correctly, because
that's the big one.
Yeah,
they're not doing it correctly.
They're doing things unlawfully. They're going against the grain.
They're going against the Constitution.
Yep. Meaning the Constitution. They're going against every procedure. They skipping the procedure and trying to get right to the,
what they trying to do.
Yep.
Because it'll take too long if they go through the regular protocol.
Exactly. Instead of going through, I said, I don't know why they trying to go so fast. Because you got 4 years.
Yeah.
You got 4 years in administration.
And I think that if we stay with what you're talking about there, that would have turned his negative approval into positive.
Yeah.
And I told this to a Trump supporter before in his first term. I said, man, all this guy got to do, because when he got in the office, he inherited a smooth running machine.
Yeah.
And all he really had to do was maybe tweak immigration, maybe work on that a little bit. But everything else was perfect. Leave it alone. This guy get in there and he just wreck shop and terrible.
Again.
Terrible president.
Yeah, again, he's doing it unlawfully, because what happens is he, like with the terrorist thing, he can't do that on his own. He go put these orders in.
And then he goes against his own orders.
Yeah, and then he don't even consider Congress or his economy people, whoever was on that in government. He don't even consider them. He gonna do it on his own.
That's true.
And according to the Constitution, you can't make no money moves without Congress okaying it.
Right.
Even in deportation, he can't make any moves until Congress approves it.
So he was going against the protocol. He's going against the standard operating procedures. He's going against the Constitution. He's going against the rules and regulations. He's going against the law. How can you be saying that you're coming in to keep the law while you're breaking the law? That becomes a problem. See, now that goes outside of our charge by the Lord God Almighty to walk upright before Him.
Yeah.
Right.
We can't do that. Laws. He's breaking his own laws, but we running out of time. We done hit something we should. Hit something. We'll get back to this on the next show, but it's been an hour for us, man. And this draft is going pretty smoothly. This is the last day of the draft. So I see we picked up a offensive tackle from Purdue.
It's
Which
been a
is
good
good.
draft, man.
Yeah.
You guys had a great draft. But
And we ain't finished. I think we got
there's more time left.
Yeah, that's it. This is only the 5th round, so
Yeah, you
still got 6 and 7. I think we only got 2 more left in the 7th. But y'all got a lot more picks.
Yeah.
I got a lot more.
Yeah, but we didn't get some of the picks that I really want us to get. You know what I'm saying? And that's disappointing. But moving forward, if you are trying to help heal the nation, you got to ask yourself this one important question. What is God asking you to do to heal this nation?
Mm-hmm.
What is he asking you to do? And I will guarantee you, once you research that, one of the things that he's going to tell you to do is stop attacking people.
Mm-hmm.
Stop rejecting the truth. One of the reasons why people are attacking people is because they're so determined to reject the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So the first place we got to do any kind of obedience to the word of God is in pursuing the truth. And that is going to bring the peace. Because we're supposed to pursue peace with all men, as many as it would, right? So at the core of peace is honesty and truth. And you really can't get honesty and truth when you're walking in hate.
That's it.
Aha!
Gotcha. That's it.
So that means you got to walk in love.
Got to walk in love.
Man, go ahead and bring us out.
All right, so that's it. That was a good answer. You gotta walk in love, not in hate. Mm-hmm. Walk in love, not in hate. We can make a song.
Wrote a song about it.
So if you like the content that you see there today, please subscribe. Definitely subscribe.
Leave your comments.
Leave your comments.
Give us some suggestions.
Yeah, and all that. And let me tell you something, man. We'll be right back with you next week.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna talk about Sinners next week.
Yeah, Sinners, the movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm going.
A lot of buzz about that, man.
Yeah,
a lot of buzz about that.
Michael B. Jordan.
I can't wait to see it.
Michael B. Jordan, he's a
vampires.
He's a native of New Jersey.
No werewolves and zombies.
Yeah. We don't know. We ain't see it yet. It might be something in there.
You think so?
Might be something in there. I don't know.
No.
We'll see. But anyway, join us next week. This is Open Up Forum. This is Ronald McConaughey here. I'm Sean.
Peace.
And Matt over there, he said peace too. All right. Love y'all. Peace out.
God bless.